Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the Sky Network show. Hope everyone is having a good time. Good to see you again. We'll start in a minute. Let me start with the welcoming. Hello Richie, welcome. Are you audible?
Yes, yes. Hi, Sandeep. Good to see
Yes.
you.
Thank you for joining in. Yeah, seems like some issue on the Richie side. Okay, now he has rejoined. There you go. So, how are you doing, everyone? It's been a long week, busy week. So, so far, last week we had a wonderful show. We showcased the Sky Army platform, and everybody was so excited. And today there's gonna be another exciting news coming up at the end of the show. So stay tuned. Make sure to be here till the last. So Yogesh, how are you doing?
All right, Sandeep. Thank you. It was a very busy week, right? As always, and yeah, I mean having busy week and set pretty good. And yeah, we are here once again. This is an opportunity once again to have an interaction with community members and meeting all these people. And yeah, this is a good opportunity every week. So we are here every week and discuss about the any concern, have an opportunity to interact and bring new technologies or discussion about new technologies and what are the things that are happening new in crypto. So here, Sandeep.
Let's go to Richie. Richie, it's been a week again. You are, I think, on mute. You are not audible.
Richie, you are not audible. I think you are mute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, let's give him a minute. Meanwhile, he uh, restores his audio. I think again he's having some technical issues. But let's get started. So, today's topic of discussion is mainly around the adoption of blockchain ecosystem in general. Number one, and number two, it is like what would be an ideal blockchain? Like what would be the holy grail of the blockchain would look like? So that is something which we'll be discussing on today. Also, we'll be discussing on the trends which are happening in the Web3 ecosystem, as well as at the end of the show, we'll be again showcasing the SkyArmy platform. Just to recap, and we'll be announcing the launch date for the beta version of SkyArmy platform. So that is what is happening today. Thank you everyone for joining in. First of all, let me acknowledge all of those who have already joined and those who are going to be viewing it afterwards. So thank you for taking this time and thank you for being part of the Sky community. It means a lot. Sky is a secure chain AI is a project built by community, built for community. So all right, I think Richie Yogesh, Yogesh Richie is having some network
Technical.
issue, so he's trying again. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So
Okay, Sandeep. So yeah, let's get started. So I think the very exciting part right now is to increase crypto adoption, right? And generally speaking, okay, not only Sky Network or Sky Coin or other things, but general as an industry, is to simplifying onboarding process, right? So there are so many incidents. There is an example like Coinbase. Their user base grew by how much? 100 million plus in the last quarter one, just by their simple user interface. very, I mean, fantastic, isn't it? It's there is that many of the adoption. The people are getting into it. It's all about simplicity, because for newcomers, it may be kind of difficult to use the Web3 ecosystem. They have to use, if they are, let's say, for example, if they are using MetaMask, then they have to use the browser, wallet browsers. And yeah, Sandeep. So, what do you think? Uh, their
Yeah, that,
interface, yeah.
that we have Richie also with us. So yeah, like for example, on that question as well, that what would be a holy grail of blockchain would look like, or what would be an ideal blockchain. So I mean, at any point in time today, if you would see the like the biggest, it is one of the biggest problem for the users is like making sure that wallets are secured, making sure that they don't end up giving a wrong permission to wrong tabs. There's so many things where they get, so they have to excuse me. So basically there is a learning curve when coming on board the Web3 ecosystem. So I think like first course of action should always be like the whole industry has to focus on is building wallets which are user friendly and which are, I mean, as like in 90, like as many people say, like even your grandma should be able to use it, right, Richie?
Yeah.
So by the way, Richie, you are back.
You
And
guys can hear me well now, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I don't know. It wasn't
yeah,
sensing
so
my speaker, my microphone. So main adoption only happens when we have it so simple that anybody can pick it up. And I use the analogy over and over again. You turn on your car in the morning, it turns on. You drive to work, you drive home. You don't necessarily know how it works, right? You don't need to know how a combustion engine works to use it. So crypto has to be the same concept. You have to be able to, through an application on your phone, be able to receive, send, start a wallet, learn about crypto in as simple a way as possible. That your grandmother could literally pick it up and say, "Hey, grandma, this is how you send me an Evo coin or a Sky coin." Uh,
okay, I think he's having technical issues
Yeah.
again. But yeah, the point which he was highlighting is really a very much important point, that it should be easy to use. There should not be a learning curve just to get on board the Web3 ecosystem, right? Anybody should be able to use it, and that is how the we'll be able to bring more people on board. So, and that is like true for any technology, right? As long as if it is not, it is working, and like for example, if you are to learn every tech every time you do something, then there would not have been the adoption of the technology in general itself. So technology is created to make life simple, not to make life harder, or add more risks which are already not there. So yeah, Richie, you are back again.
yeah, like exactly. So main adoption only happens when it's so simple, anyone in the world can use it, pick up the application, and there's no possibility for them to make a mistake. Right? There's no coding, there's no background stuff that they have to learn how to use it. It's literally open the app and start using the app. And the interface is so simple that anyone in the world, including your grandmother, who's never used this before, can figure it out, right? It's got to be dead simple, easy for the user to interact with, a great looking UI. And that's when we have mainstream adoption. That's when we have the 30, 40, 50, 70% of the population using and interacting with crypto. And most won't even know it's crypto and blockchain. Most will just use it day to day, like to use their cars and use your phones. You don't know how your phone's made up in the background, right? You didn't develop your phone, but you use it every single day, right? Technology is supposed to make our lives easier. It's supposed to amplify our efforts. It's supposed to simplify our life as well. right? So that's the next steps. That's what we're working on, and that's our end goal, is to make it that simple, to make it that straightforward and safe for anybody to use globally.
And true, and that's how the technology should be. It should be, making life easier, not even harder. And somewhere, again, Web3 is still young. It is going towards that direction. As Yogesh rightly pointed out, like Coinbase just increased their like users by like almost 110 million by quarter one 2025. So that's like, see, 100 million people onboarding the platform just because it is easy to use and robust. So that's always going to be the game changing. We also in Secure Chain have a coin mask, which is not so user friendly today. It is same as MetaMask, like almost very much similar, but it is secure for sure. It is robust, but there is a new version which will be upcoming. Okay, where we will be addressing all those issues which are already not there. So yeah, I mean that is one biggest part that like the industry in general also has to address, and we also as a project has to address that as well. Now we come to the second point. Second point is about like educating. So when it comes to educating users about the technology behind, because I mean Web3 is one place where there's so many misconceptions, right? So many misconceptions, and the way projects have you know in past done things, kind of narratives that has been sold. There's definitely a need for clarification when it comes to technology for the users as well. Like, okay, what is validators, what is blockchain, what is smart contracts, what you can do with smart contracts, what cannot be done with the smart contracts, etc., etc. There's a lot of things to learn, and that is where the Sky Network show comes in. That is what we do every week in order to make sure that at least our community is well educated when it comes to the technology. Right, Yogesh?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So there was a user who were using the CoinMask wallet and was pretty not sure the Sky is in which network. So because there are a lot of version of Sky on different networks, so I understand there are people in a community who are not so technical savvy, and they really need to get into this world. So there will be a little bit of a learning curve for them, but at the same time, project has a constant effort to make the applications and all these the ecosystem components become more user friendly and very easy to use. So the user experience, that is at the key, at the heart of the ecosystem. As Sandeep, you already pointed out, the more easier the platform is, anybody can use it. At the same time, it must be robust as well. Okay, the security should not be compromised. But so both robustness and easy to use, both, that plays major role. So I think have these kind of components, and the team, I'm sure there is a technical challenges for now. It's still young, as Sandeep you have pointed out. The industry, everything is still young, so there will be some time to take to that level. But again, we can create certain technologies. There are a lot of development. I mean, there are so many development, for example, like zero knowledge proof, layer zero, all these kind of things happening. It's being developed to making sure how this technology can be available to the normal people. I mean, all these streamline, all these high street banks and financial institutions and all other businesses uses the blockchain technology to secure their transactions and everything. So this will be a kind of game changer. And uh, I think the industry is moving with a super fast speed. Okay, there are on daily basis there are a lot of development. Even I also see a lot of proposals and inquiries. People are interested in building different type of technologies. They want to build different on-chain auditing platform or security platforms to all kinds of different technologies people wants to build. So I think the technology and industry is moving super fast. Also other geopolitical events that are also favoring the industry as well. uh, I mean, there are many other globally events that are happening that also pushes the industry forward. So yeah, I mean, Sandeep, we are looking forward for the bright
Yeah,
future.
definitely. And sometimes I say like the time itself is on our side. So like as the time goes by, there is gonna be an increased adoption, and this this is not like a a metaverse bubble or something like that. That okay, blockchains will die one day,
Mm.
whether you like it or not, whether you adopt it or not. Either you become an early adopter, like those people in our community are now. Still, it is in early stages, and it is good to join, this Web3 ecosystem. And if you don't do it now, in future you will be doing it anyway without even knowing it. So that is always there. Richie, would you like to add anything to this, where it comes to the educating the users and specifically, benefits of uh, blockchain technology in general?
Yeah, at this point, we have to take the next step, and us as project leaders, right, and core developers and core teams, we have to do everything possible to give them those educational information. Like you're saying before, what's a validator, right? What's a smart contract? How do you launch a token? All these things that people that no one knows what they don't know until they learn it, right? People that are starting to get into the industry and starting to dip their toe in the water when it comes to blockchain tech and getting involved and using this day to day, they're going to have to learn these things. So, us giving every opportunity for them to learn them in an easy and simple way by incorporating that into applications or an academy or free content like we're doing today, talking about some of these concepts, that's so important to getting mainstream adoption just as much as the UI and simple interface. Because at the end of the day, you do need to learn a little bit about blockchain. You need to know what a wallet is. You need to know the basic starting points, the 101s of blockchain, which network you're going to work on top of, why you should work on top of that network instead of other networks, because the strengths, the either it's faster, it's more secure, it has zero proof knowledges, it has whatever that may be for you, right? It's backed by a reserve of gold. There's so many different factors that come into play when you choose the blockchain you want to build on top of or use in your day-to-day life, that you have to have a little bit of education there, right? And that's like everything in life. You have to ride a bike, you have to get on the bike and learn how to ride it. You might fall a few times, but if you have someone beside you teaching you how to ride a bike that's done it, and they help you through that process, holding the seat, for example, as you're starting to go, it facilitates that whole process. And that's what we're going to have to do as well. Us as network developers, as blockchain leaders, we're going to have to do everything we can to walk people through that starting point, that process, right? That educational core base that will start their journey in the crypto space. And some will use it to launch tokens and build solutions, and some will just use it in day-to-day life to buy groceries or buy a coffee in the morning. And both are valid. Both are using blockchain for its strengths, right? Understanding the trustless nature of blockchain and how it can be utilized in the improvement of the old system with all the fraud and manipulation, everything else that happens there, and the new systems, the new blockchain-based decentralized systems that change the way, change the way we live, change the way we interact with each other, make it so that we can have smart contracts with someone else and not have to know or trust that person because it's inherently built into that smart contract and the trustless nature of blockchain itself. So we're at that paradigm shift of the old to the new, and with that comes our responsibility and the user's responsibility to learn a little bit about what this is and how it works. You don't have to know how to code it, but you have to know the basics, the 101s, right? So our next step is to really hammer down the educational side of this as well as the tools so that the user has no excuse to navigate this ecosystem safely. And like I said before in several different episodes, if you guys have questions, ask it, right? Because if we're all asking the same questions, that means we haven't provided that information yet or enough, so that that question's been answered by the community or been provided the answer to the community. So that's our next little steps, right? That's a critical part of mass adoption, just as much as a simple interface. We need to do our best there to really educate and give all the resources that we possibly can. So someone from zero, I'm starting crypto today, day one. I've never touched this. I've never heard of this. Can go from that to I can use it in my day-to-day life in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, definitely. Also, Richie, there's something I've been working on, like an idea of what would be the holy grail of blockchain. Like, what are the features would be, or how the blockchain should work like, in order to make it like to address all the major issues which we are facing today in today's today's ecosystem. So I would be discussing about it in the end of towards the end of the show. But you put really well, like the points when it comes to the blockchain is a technology which can create the borderless economies, right? And in true way, a global economies can be built with the blockchain technology. The Sky Network is one of that. That was the always goal behind building this. That okay, there are many people in the world who don't have access to a stable economy or a global economy at their doorstep. So, and it is huge, like this, almost like 30% of the population of Earth today lives in those conditions where there is no stable economy, right? And due to all this geopolitical issues and wars and all those things which are going on around the world, it is even becoming more and more a need of the hour to have the technology which is easy to use, which is global, which is decentralized, which is trustless, and end of the day effective. So everybody should get something out of it, right? And that's what my idea of a blockchain, like a holy grail of blockchain would be like that. So yeah, again going to the next steps. Another thing which is provided by the Web3 ecosystem in general is DeFi, right? Banking is something which is not necessarily available to everyone, though we are privileged to have been living in those economies where banking is so easy to get, or it is available on your phone. It's easy, but that's not the case for everyone in the world. So when it comes to DeFi, it allows anyone to create a decentralized finance system which is a trustless and can be used by everyone. So DeFi has, if without DeFi, I don't think that the adoption would have increased so much faster. And nowadays, like for example, if you would be seeing the news in last couple of the weeks, the institutional adoption in DeFi has increased by almost like 20% plus. So that is something which is really amazing, which a Web3 ecosystem provides. And I would like to know your views. First, I'll go to Yogesh. Yogesh?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So when it comes to DeFi, you remember the last time the Ethereum, the gas price was booming like crazy. That was mainly due to a DeFi transaction. So there were all these DEXs and all these DeFi applications. They are contributing the majority of the transaction and making the Ethereum to become consumed. There are all this congestion that were coming out of that. So you can think about this, the demand of the DeFi. So definitely, Sandeep, the finances and banking and all this entire industry is at the heart of human civilization. Okay, without finances, I mean, just think about it. If we just take away money part of the human life, then how the life will look like? It will be just like a primitive. Without money, there is no business, there is no activity, there is nothing to do. I mean, people can get the bread, the all these basic necessity without that. So that's it. It would be only like that. So financial system is the key player in human society, but now when it comes to a DeFi, a blockchain-based decentralized finance industry, that will come the holy grail. I mean, there is no centralized or no or semi-centralized control to empower the end users. Basically, end users can do like even this blockchain peer-to-peer payment system. Fantastic. I mean, who had thought that people will be able to do the transaction from worldwide, internationally, from one world, one country to whole different country with just few seconds, and the price of just few cents. That's it. Otherwise, if you look at the traditional finances, it takes days and days, and there are lots of censoring, and there are a lot of questions, and they ask you what to, where this money coming from, and this and that. But like instant transactions, and with just transaction fee of just few cents, doing all these international transactions, this empowers all these businesses and users. This is the boom. However, although there are some negative side as well, so for example, all these criminal activity, terror financing, all these things that has to be taken care. The definitely there should be a government regulation, of course, like U.S. Genius Act for stable coins and all kind of things. So regulation should be there, that for sure, to protect the genuine users. But at the same time, Sandeep, what you are saying is pretty correct. Like, think about these stable coins or USDT or USDC. They'll be being used on day-to-day basis. Then how it will be so simple and easy? Just done the transaction and that's it. So definitely, the having the mainstream adoption, fantastic.
That's going to be one of the strengths
Definitely, Yogesh, you put it really well.
in crypto itself. So DeFi, healthcare, you being able to have a means of exchange. Now we use money now, right? It's been years and years. Our whole life we've used money cash. In the past, it's been salt at one point in time. It's been so many different forms of value that people have used to trade. If money disappeared today, we'd go into a bartering system where I'd say, well, I need eggs and you need whatever it is on my side. So let's exchange eggs for a chicken or eggs for pork or whatever it may be, right? That will never change. We'll always have something to exchange. Now, something being exchangeable globally within a second or two and cost fractions or cents to do, like we have the opportunity to do now, now we can have a little village in the middle of the woods, in the forest, be able to do commerce with anyone around the world. This is something you've never had before, right? If you have DeFi, you have internet, accessibility to internet, a decentralized network of internet, and healthcare services, you can now have any civilization in the world thrive. And there's no holds barred. There's no people saying, hey, I won't give you a bank account, right? Or I won't give you access to data management when it comes to your healthcare, right? That's the difference. There's no more person in between you and these tools. You have direct access and you can choose which network you want to use these tools on top of. So every part of the world, in my view, my vision of what this will become in the future, will have uh, several blockchains, right, or stable coins or community coins that they rely on day to day, and they can organize their lives that way because they value whichever coin or token that may be. So for some, it might be a stable coin, a USDT, and for others, it'll be a community coin that they built and they have a reserve backing it, for example, right? That's going to be the next step in humanity, where we choose what we value, and we can exchange between each other and have a perfect ledger of everything happening there. And Yogesh, you spoke about the bad side about crypto, which is the scams and the fraud and the criminal activity that happens on top of the chain. But at the same time, it's a lot more transparent on the blockchain than it is with cash, because someone can sell drugs to somebody else for cash. No one knows what happened there, right? Or someone can steal from someone's wallet, pickpocket them. Now, no one knows what happened there. But if someone took crypto from your wallet, there's a ledger there, right? There's a transaction that happened there and the wallet where it went to. And eventually, maybe it goes through 20 or 30 or 40 different wallets. But eventually, if that person connects that wallet to an exchange or a DEX or anywhere where there's a KYC of any sort or an account, um, there's an endpoint there where they can be caught. So as much as people love to say the whole crypto is only used for criminal activities, if you're a criminal using crypto for criminal activities, that's not the smartest move, in my opinion, because there's a perfect ledger, right? When you take something from someone on the blockchain and that ledger shows that token went from their wallet to your wallet and then your wallet to an exchange, they've now pinpointed who took what, right? Or exactly where the funds went to. So when it comes to authorities and stuff, they've never had a more perfect ledger or account of what happened and when it happened. I'll give you a great example. So one of my friends, they had XRP. They compromised their laptop. They moved funds from a ledger, from an exchange to a ledger. And right after that process was done, they went to go check on their funds again, and they're gone within maybe a minute of them sending their funds from the exchange to their ledger. Their account was wiped out. All the XRP was gone. And that friend of mine called me and said, "What happened here?" I went on the Ether Explorer and I saw every single transaction, every coin, where it went to, where it is now. Some went to brand new wallets, some went to an exchange, some went to wallets that will, I think it was a separate exchange. Sorry, it was 2 or 3 different exchanges and one private wallet that was just created like today, for example. Right? I was able to give all that information, screenshots of the every transaction, the exact time to the second this happened, and then we were able to give it to the authorities. Now, the authorities, I don't know what happened there, if they actually did something or not. I don't know. But they had access to all of it. They know what wallet it came from, what wallet it went into, what exchange it went into. They were able to, if they did, call the exchange, say, hey, there's a criminal activity that just happened. These things were stolen. Here's the evidence. Here's the account it came from. Can you lock up those funds? Right? That's a perfect circle right there. So at the end of the day, we have accessibility to all of this. To give yourself a banking, bank the unbanked globally. Africa is one of the biggest regions with people that don't have bank accounts, but they have cell phones, right? They have interconnections, but they don't have bank accounts, which is ridiculous. So that's the next step, is kind of educating people of how they can free themselves from the older systems that are very constricted, right? Where they can take your funds from your account or lock up your account because of a political view or because whatever that may be, right? That should your livelihood should never be affected by someone else. They shouldn't have that power over you to freeze an account, right? Crypto represents your freedom, right? Crypto represents your ability to bank, to send value, to receive value, to manage your healthcare data. All of that can be done with blockchain and decentralized matter, where no one can influence your account and your life in that way, which is able to be done right now in our traditional systems. And that's unacceptable. The last several years, we've had a great example of just how much control can be done from the governments and institutions with your livelihood, with your funds, with your accounts. And after seeing what we've seen the last few years, it's unacceptable. It's no longer an option or a possibility. We can say long term that's a viable option, right? So let's decentralize that. Let's put the power back into people's hands and make sure they have the access to every tool possible so they can thrive and not be held back by someone with ambitions to be more successful themselves or control more than give people their actual privacy and their rights.
True, Abhijit. And end of the day, Web3 is all about giving back the control
Mhm.
to the person, because in every ecosystem, every economy, uh, end of the day, the value creator is a person, right? A user or a person is the one who creates value in this world. And in today's world, uh, in Web2 ecosystem, control is not there with the user. Control is there with the centralized entities. Whereas with the Web3, that's what Web3 promises, to give back that control to that user, okay, to your funds, to your data, to your livelihood, to your assets, and everything. And create, again, not have to trusting others or any specific centralized entity. Like, for example, Today, there's 194 countries in the world, and out of 194 economies, there is not a single economy which is a deflationary. Just imagine that. Everybody is inflationary. Every year they are inflation, like inflation is going on. Every country has a different percentage of inflation, but that is there. Whereas here you can on Web3 you can build ecosystem which are deflationary. So that is so like for example, secure chain is a deflationary mechanism, right? You can give back to the community of the whole like so there's so many great ideas which are possible because of Web3, and that is what it gets its value from. And as I said before, also time is on our side. Um, Whatever, whether you like it or not, with the time, adoption is going to be increasing, and if you don't want to be left out, become an early adopter, right? So, yeah,
Uh,
that's
Sandeep, just
there. Again, yeah, Rick.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I guess go
Just
ahead.
want to add to your conversation. One you were talking about the adoption. I just want to share one thing. Recently, I was using Payoneer, okay, for our general business purpose. Payoneer. They basically just gave me the notification, thinking, "Hey, are you using cryptocurrency in any ways in your business?" It's like a survey, so they are also like interested. Those corporations are also interested in knowing how many of their users are into crypto. And in the last, they were asking, if we bring crypto, how you will use it. So think about it. These the financial giants are also thinking about getting into the crypto adoption. So I was surprised because in few years ago they were against crypto. So even if they find out if the merchant is doing related to crypto, then they were like not interested. They consider them as a high risk business. So they were against that. Now they are the one who will be getting into the crypto. Like PayPal also, they have the crypto association. So these companies are also been into crypto as well. Okay, Sandeep, back to you.
Yeah, definitely, Yogesh. And there's not a single Fortune 500 company in the world or anybody who's leading something and wouldn't know about the Web3 or don't have the plans to adopt the Web3 because it is unavoidable, as I say, like with the time going by, either they have to onboard it or stay left behind. It's their choice, but there has to be, I mean, this is the direction in which the world is moving, and it is never a good idea to swim against the stream. So yeah, everybody has to get on board, uh, be today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. But there's no other option that okay, I will skip this trend because it's not a trend; it's a evolution of the technology. Yeah. Richie, would you like to add anything here?
It's the natural evolution of humanity, is what it is, right? We went from riding horses to cars. Now you went from being able to do so many kilometers in a day, and now you can go across the country, right? Hours and hours and hours, or days even driving. Then you went from the processing, what do you call it? The industrial processing plants and building stuff that way. Now you're getting 3D printing. Now you're getting AI. Now you're getting blockchain. We're evolving over time. Things are getting more efficient. Things are getting better and better and better. And there's a part there where there's negatives as well. Like you're going against your life's getting more complicated in the way of technology, right? It's not this simple day to day where you go and grab eggs every morning from your chicken coop and whatever, right? So there is parts of this where people like it and dislike it. But at the same time, as a society, this is where we're going. So our job now is to build trustworthy networks that we can use for these tools and use for these implementations of blockchain to really give the power back to the people again, right? We've lost that power, right? We're slowly going to get that back if we make right choices now. We're at crossroads. If we go to central bank digital currencies where they have all the control, again, they'll be able to freeze your bank accounts and do the rest. If you use Ethereum, if you use Evolve, if you use SCAI, we won't be able to freeze anything. We won't be able to do any of that. It's all open source. It's all for the people and decentralized. So at the end of the day, we as a society have to choose which way we're going to evolve now. This is going to happen. Blockchain will be incorporated whether we like it or not, right? And some people will not use it and they don't want to use it. Great, that's up to you. But for the majority of businesses and countries, not just like institutions, countries are all planning to incorporate blockchain into their ecosystems, into their countries, right? So it's going to happen. This has never been the better time. Like we said before, the best time to get into blockchain yesterday, the next best time today, the next best time tomorrow, right? You have to take that step regardless eventually. And the earlier you educate yourself, and it's not as steep of a learning curve as you may think. Sometimes it does feel overwhelming, and I get that from a lot of friends and family and people that we talk to blockchain about. And oh, it's too complicated. It's not, right? I'm going to send a transaction to you. You're going to receive it. We'll have a way that we can verify that you sent it and I received it through the Explorer. And the basic trading, the basic kind of use case there, I can go somewhere and pay something for a chocolate bar or coffee with my crypto. That's going to be the day to day that most people use it for, right? You don't necessarily have to launch a token or launch or make a smart contract or go into the more complicated parts of blockchain, which aren't that complicated. But I can see where you're coming from. The majority of people don't have that background, but it's going to happen, right? We're going to get there. We're going to have this in our life if we like it or not. And most of it, you won't even notice blockchains being used in the background, right? Our medical records will all be secured by a combination of blockchains and interplanetary filing systems, right? That's going to happen. But on the application you use, you're going to see your data. You're going to see share with doctor. You're going to see revoke sharing with that doctor if you choose to, right? It'll be that simple, but blockchain will be incorporated there. So this is the point where I tell everybody, learn what you can, get involved. If you have a great idea, see how you can build it on the blockchain, because that's going to be the systems we use in the future, right? These applications, these dApps on the blockchain, are so much more secure, right? You can do so much with this technology. You can literally change the world. You can make use cases that we haven't done yet, and change the way our day-to-day life looks 10, 20, 30, 100 years down the line from now. So it's never been more of an opportunity. I hope everyone takes advantage of this. I hope everyone does what they can to educate themselves and to take those first few steps. And for some, it'll be just, I'll need a trade back and forth and send money to a grandmother or pay for coffee. And for others, it's going to build cutting edge technology that's going to change our lives, right? So we all have a role to play. We all have some form of adoption that we're going to go through here, some more, some less, depending on the scale that you get involved and what you can build and what your idea, your vision is for that next use case, that next solution, the next tool, the next application. But in the end, we're all going to get there one way or another. Either, like Sandy was saying, it's either you're going to get now or you're going to later on, but you're benefiting yourself tremendously if you get in now, if you start that process, because it takes time. Some people it takes a week or a day, and some people it's going to take months to really wrap their head around it and to figure out how this plays a role in their life.
True, true. By the way, Richie, Yogesh has another schedule, so he will have to drop in a couple of minutes. But before he drops, we would like to make an announcement for the Sky community, that the Sky Army platform, which we saw last time. Were you aware, like, Richie, did you get a chance to look at that Sky Army platform?
I did not see that yet. Did you put the link to that?
Okay. No, it's still in the development
Oh,
phase.
sorry.
But anyway, I'll be sharing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. But I'll share it with you. So we'll share it with everyone. Why not, right? That okay. So let's go with the dates, guys. The launch of Sky Army platform is decided to be done on 4th of July. So
Nice.
stay tuned. Next show will be dedicated towards again the same platform, and we'll showcase the things which are built on the Sky Army again, and we'll go through with the how to do's and what to do's. Like basically, what Sky Army does is, in simple words, it's a token creation come platform where it's like puff.fund. You can simply just create the tokens with ease. The tokens which are created are like with the super burn mechanism, so they are hyper deflationary tokens. with the 25% burn rate. The second, again, it has inbuilt launchpad, where with the launchpad, y- okay, let me take him back. Yeah, you're back. Okay, so again, on the launchpad, it is the whole community will be able to raise funds, but the token owners cannot take that funds away, because 100% liquidity is locked, and the LP tokens are burned in order to safeguard the community, that in future also rug pulls cannot happen. Yeah, you're back now. So I was just again, let me reiterate that. So Sky Army is a platform where we are like, it's like a pumped on fund. User can create a token in simple clicks. Then it has the tokens which are created have a they are hyper deflationary, so they have like a 25% burn rate, and so that is always there. So over the period of time, it is for sure that the value of those tokens will be
Right. So everyone in the
increasing.
community can launch
Then
their own token.
yeah, okay. Yogesh, do you have any questions?
No, no, Sandeep. You can continue. I think we already talked about this, and
Yeah,
yeah, you can continue with this, Sandeep. About features and
no problem.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Also, Yogesh, thank you very much for joining in and giving us this precious time. And yeah, would be so if you have to drop, feel free to drop. And if you would like to, talk to the community and convey anything, you have the floor.
All right. Yes. Thank you, community, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Richie, and everyone, Sandeep, for this opportunity once again every week, and everyone. It was great session, and had an opportunity to have a chance to have interaction with everyone. So yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you, and have a fantastic weekend, and very productive week ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Yogesh.
Take care, Yogesh.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, as guys, community, we were discussing about the Sky Army platform, right? So the way it works is like anyone in the community can create a token. The tokens which are created are hyper deflationary. It has like 25% burn rate. So overall, the value of the token would be increasing over the period of time, for sure. The second thing it does is, it is a launch pad, so the community will be able to raise, invest in those tokens. The tokenomics is like that 20% is specifically given to the pre-sale. So those who are would be putting their Sky would be able to get those token allotments from that 20%. And the main part is the 100% liquidity is locked and the LP tokens are burned straightforward. So for the foreseeable future, nobody can ever, take that liquidity out. So neither the token owner nor anyone can do it. And again, this is how the whole system is decentralized, works with the smart contracts. So there's no centralized component involved in that. So that is another great thing about the Sky Army platform. And the lucrative part here is like, again, the DEX is also incorporated in Sky Army. So the tokens which are created there can be also traded on Sky Exchange as well as they can be traded directly on the Sky Army platform as well. So these are the key things, and again, these are the things which we learned from the our past BA, past experience with a couple of projects who joined the ecosystem and did the rug pull, or not, like, didn't do what they promised end of the day. And that was the reason for creating this Sky Army platform we created in very short time. So it was like a wartime effort, that okay, there is a problem, we need to solve it, and we are ready to solve it. And we are going to be launching this platform on 4th of July. Even before that, also we might will enable it in the beta so community can start using it, just getting themselves familiarized with the platform. So again, this is the first version, so expect don't expect so much out of it. So I don't want to set the expectation too high that you guys feel that okay, you were hyping it so much and then didn't work it out. But yeah, as I said, this is something which we have built, and again, this is just the first version. There will always be new version coming up on the in the future, because development is the strength of this project, right? Because we are developers, we can build things, and that's what we are going to be keep doing it, and that is the reason Sky has the potential to succeed. Because most of the projects, what they have to do is like they have to get development done from some place. Again, it's a different projects have different criteria to success and different paths to success. But the path we have choose to the success is by building more and more utilities, by staying true to the nature of blockchain, by staying fair and as basic as it could be. Okay, no hype, nothing, like simple, smart blockchain system where it, the community gets benefit of it, not the project owner. And there's no project owner because it is a decentralized system, right? Yeah. So that is it from my side. Now I think Dichi is having some technical issues, so I think it is a good time, but we have 8 minutes, and I think I did promise at the start that okay, I will be talking about the blockchain. Again, it is my point of view. I could be wrong that the kind of blockchain which we want, which I feel that would be a holy grail of blockchains, right? Again, it is my idea. So I think currently the problems which I identified were like okay, there's a of course limited transaction speeds. Okay, there's a limited storage capability with the smart contracts.
Scalability, value
There's a
proposition.
okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, again, the current technologies are vulnerable to quantum computing attacks, but they are
It's a
not
big
quantum proof. Maybe they are, some of them are quantum resistant, but they are not quantum proof.
exactly.
Okay, and for example, like validators, again, the difference is like okay, there's a difference between Microsoft Word and Windows OS, right? So so there's one is an application, one is a operating system. So the current blockchains are like an applications. They are limited, not scalable. Um, they are not interoperable. So many problems. Like for example, like wallets. So I think the holy grail of the blockchains should not need wallets. That is number one. Number two, it does not. It should be able to store as much data as possible. Just as much you could put it on a data center, you should be able to put it on that blockchain. It should be able to hold all the LLMs, all the big AIs. It should be able to learn the data. Again, it should have processing power. It should have storage. It should have scalability. The blockchain should not be limited to just transactions. The blockchain should be limited. I mean, it should create a decentralized um, architecture itself where, yeah,
So
go
you're
ahead.
thinking about more of like Android or iOS, or like
Yeah,
Microsoft or Apple uh, network operating system, basically, to store information, access
yeah, basically
information.
operating system.
Um, this would be like a different style of blockchain, as one is more focused on
Yeah,
transactions and storing limited amount of data, because we can't use blockchains efficiently as a database when it comes to storing large amounts of data.
correct.
This would be more towards, I'm assuming, having validator nodes securing the network, the operating system, as where traditional blockchains are supporting and securing a ledger, correct?
Yeah, it would be like a decentralized architecture itself,
Yeah.
where, for example, if you have a data center and okay, if you have in a data center 1 million processors, You can put this operating system on 1 million processors, and all 1 million processors will become a part of our network. And they will share the processing, they'll share the storage, they'll share the network, and everything is secured by the quantum proof
Encryption.
encryption. Yeah. And for like, it has two-factor authentication, so you don't need wallets. You don't have to have wallets. uh, you, you are you, and you don't have to carry everything. Like, okay, you cannot miss that wallet. Okay, for example, if you cannot forget those passkeys and then you cannot recover the wallet, those things won't be there. uh, so again, this is my idea of a holy grail of blockchain.
So will
Again,
you'll have a login, I guess, and a backup?
yes, of course. Again, it is decentralized. It is decentralized. So there will be a segment of data. So for example, if there is one segment of data, it would already be there in 100 different nodes. But the one node will not be containing 100% of the
No.
data. So because that is the problem. For example, right, with Ethereum now, if you want to create a validator, you really need a 1 terabyte of
Exactly.
space just to run that validator. So, and that is again inefficient, right? Because every validator has to keep those 1 like 500 GB plus
And
data.
that's the thing.
Whereas,
Imagine 20, 30 years from now what that's going to be. Are you going to need a 10 or 20
exactly,
terabyte database or hard drive in your computer to run a node? Right? It's
correct.
unrealistic. It's not long term. I'm not saying Ethereum is not going to be here in 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to be validated
Yeah.
on
So
Ethereum,
basically, the solution, yeah,
that's
the solution which I'm talking about, that can create that can run on IoT devices to supercomputers, all the range. Doesn't matter the processing power or the RAM or the one, because it only uses 5% of that particular device for the blockchain system, and 90%, 95% is available for the use cases
it
like
would just have to
real world use
scale in
cases.
terms of the amount of nodes operating as the data scales
Yeah,
in
yeah,
size. Yeah.
yeah. Exactly.
Upgrade.
And again, this enables everybody to be a validator. Each and every point, each and every connected device is a validator.
Oh, okay. So you're using, so if
So
I want to store data on this network blockchain, this database blockchain, let's call it for
mhm.
now, when I use it, I'm connecting my device. It's using a small percent of the storage in my device and becoming a validator node
Yeah,
in exchange for using this decentralized database and storing like Google Cloud
correct.
all my documents and folders and stuff that I want private to myself. I will only be able to access that or give access to that. At the same time, I'm
Yeah,
participating in this network, and this network scales and scales and scales and scales. The more people who use it and need it, the bigger it gets.
more scalable it
Yes,
becomes.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there in today's world, there are so many things which cannot be like, there are so many scientific problems which cannot be addressed because of this lack of like, okay, you can build a smart computer or supercomputer, but supercomputers also has a limit.
Oh, 100%.
HPCs, like high throughput computing, has a limit. Okay, there are many scenarios which cannot be done on the today's supercomputers also. Even the quantum, when like, so this is a kind of a architecture, not a blockchain, as like for example Ethereum or Solana or all those things which are have, which we already have. But this is a, like kind of a solution where we can't call it a blockchain, but we can call it a decentralized network system, or I don't know what we
Decentralized
name. So that's why I
database,
say it's a holy
decentralized storage. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure we're going to come up with a great name
yeah,
for it. But the core value of it is having that Amazon Web Services like database where a lot of people already use to
exactly,
store their information and company information and documents, but that's on a server controlled by someone else. So if you had a decentralized
exactly.
storage of your data that only you can access and give access to, while at the same time participating in that network and increasing the size of that network, now you have something that's very valuable, right? And a decentralized manner on top of that, which is even more important. And quantum proof, which is the Achilles tendon of
Yeah,
blockchain
future
right now,
proof.
right? It's a big problem we have to solve.
Yeah, yeah,
And luckily, there's some bright minds solving that as we speak.
correct. So yeah, it's like okay, I've tried to incorporate everything what I could from my journey in this tech field since last 15, 16 years. Whatever I've learned from each stage in my life. So I tried to incorporate everything to come up with the solution, and that is something. Again, it's not that it is impossible to build. Okay, it's just gonna take some more time and resources, but yeah, it is doable, and it will be one of a kind for sure. Don't know how much effective it would be or what success it would be,
Everything we're
but
building
one thing for sure that it will be.
takes time, right? Everything that's to
Yeah,
that scale, especially, takes a lot of time, effort, and hopefully, when you're done, and we get to try this database, blockchain, network, whatever you're going to call it, we appreciate the time and effort and work you put into it, because I know the tireless effort that you have in the background that most people don't see day to day.
yeah,
Um, so, and that's an understatement to say the least.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying. Again, I can't reach everyone, but yeah, I do try. So yeah, we feel every day, and that's not a big deal. So that is also a part of the process. If we don't feel, we don't build. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I hope everyone in the community knows that or sees we are going after large use cases. We don't want to just be a blockchain or a network or just status quo with everyone else. We are thriving. We're doing our best to change this world in several different
Yeah.
ways. And if we are successful, when we are successful, our world will look very different in 10, 20 years. And we will give people the ability to really thrive, to work and operate and store and do commerce and store data and medical data and everything else in a decentralized manner that's not controlled by anybody. And that is so powerful. That is so important. I hope everyone sees the steps that we're taking and eventually sees the end vision of what we are building. And this doesn't just, it's not just one blockchain, right? This is going to be many blockchains working in unison together. That's where legal blockchains come into there as well, right? Along with the
Okay, I think Richie got a technical problem again. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, that this is something which I'm building or I'm working on. So no promises, but again, this is a tech guy, so we nobody can promise. It's a process. Also, as Richie was saying, right, it's all about vision and what we are here to build. So many times, like I get so many times messages in the group that when centralized exchange, when CMC, okay, and I mean I've tried to convey this so many times, but let me do it one more time. That see, centralized exchanges are known to be project killers. Okay,
yeah.
if you don't know like if you are new to the market, I don't know, but I've been here since 2018, and I have built so many projects for my clients, and we have seen them fail. And 99.9% failed in that centralized exchange journey. So let's not feel because of the known reasons. If we feel because of unknown reasons, it is still acceptable. But when we know that this is a place where it is not gonna, it may create a value for a few days, or it might increase the value of Sky for a month or so, but that does not mean that it will take the project to the success. The project, only thing which will take the project to the success is building on the network. As many projects can be built, we start with building. Once we reach that uh, place where we already have all the infrastructure ready, and the other developers can start building on it, that's when the real value starts coming in. So stay tuned. And Sky is not for the paper ends, so please do not. It is for those who have the vision and are ready to hurdle. So again, this is not a security token, or it is not a investment thing where you should put your money into it. This is a utility thing. Specifically, it is a blockchain. So make sure you understand what you are getting into. Okay, and it is a community like own project and community driven project. And end of the day, community is one who is creating value in this project. Okay, we are just building, we are just developers. We just built, we just coded, but the community is the one who is running this project.
100%. And I like to say something before the internet goes down again. Um, the only thing stopping us from achieving our goals is effort, time, and an unrelenting pursuit of that vision, right? Which, luckily for everyone that we have on the team and that's been working with us and around us, we have that in spades. We have been working for months and months and months tirelessly with very little reward for our work, but the amount of initiatives, the amount of hard work and effort, and just unrelenting development that I've seen, we're going to get there. It might take time. It will take time, not might, but we're going to get to our end goals. And we hope that every single one of you help build on top of what we've built, because that brings value to our network. That brings value to SkyChain to evolve, to anything else we build in the future, is the community. You guys are the lifeblood of these projects. Without you, there is no value. So we work for you. We work to build tools for you so that we can thrive and we can all build together in the future. So with that being said, I am going to say my wrap up just in case the internet does go down again. And it was a pleasure. Excuse me. It's a pleasure being on the show again. This is a great topic. And I can't wait to see the actual platform itself, so that we can see how people can launch their own tokens like that, right? No development background. You can launch your own token and create your own community coin or token, sorry, um, with a few clicks, right? And that's just the first of many applications we're going to be bringing out. And that, again, goes to the developers and the hard work that they're doing for you tirelessly without much reward at this point in time. But because of our vision of what this will be in the future and the community that we're building because of that.
Yeah, and my reward is very much things. If I could, take maybe 1,000 people out of the below poverty line, that's my life goal, and I don't have to worry about it next. But before we go, like we complete the show, let me take a couple of questions from the chat. So, chat Bashir has lost his Sky app. How can I get it back? Join the Telegram group, put a message. Magnil will give you the link. You can download, or there are some you can get it from the website, or just join the group and say hi. You will get the required issue, like required whatever you need. Your questions will be definitely answered there. Also, Sam Suji, one of our stalwarts, has a question that, yeah, hello team, it would be great value to add graphics to Skydex. If it has been done, hopefully it can be realized soon. So yes, Samsuji, we have built a new text. The graphics is in process. Uh, the challenge was with the graph node, which we faced. I mean, it was taking so long to, because our blockchain has been running for 2.5 years now. It takes time for new servers to uh, load all the data, everything. But technical issues aside, we have already built the stuff, and it is in testing. I'll be sharing the news very soon once. But I think I was keeping it for the coin mask instead of just going on that. So let's see. Your chain AI APK error. Okay, Iman, uh, you are having some error on APK. Please feel free to put a message in the group, and we'll be happy to take it on. Other than that, there's not much questions. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. And the mark the dates, guys. This is the date where we will be launching the Sky Army. That is 4th July, July 4th, 2025. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Wishing every one of you a very happy weekend and a productive week ahead. We'll see you next Saturday, 2 p.m. UTC sharp. Meanwhile, be happy. Have a good day. Bye bye. Richie, you there? All right, everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye. We'll see you next Saturday.